Hey, everybody. Good evening from the land of here. Anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and get to work. We got work to do. All right. I need one more rendering at the moment. I need to turn sideways 90 degrees. So, get this some light. Hey there, Brent. How you doing? Well, we're having problems with this guy, aren't we? Well, it shouldn't be so hard, but apparently it is. Who knew? Hey, guys. I wonder if I can make this more smooth or whatever. Right? I loved it. It was pretty darn cool. Really, really playing this game. I really, and it's so funny because that's one of the big coarse whines coming from the Trekkies. You can't hear me? Why can't you hear me? Why can't you hear me? That's weird. Can you hear me now? I'm having a problem with the audio. What's going on here? Correct. Yeah. Everybody's correct over here. Weird. Huh. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Isn't that happening? Microphone not working? What's the story? What's going on? I see all the little doohickeys. I see all the doohickeys over here. Can you hear the music? Okay, if you can hear me over there, then that's fine. I wish me grab my stool, but there's a cat on the stool, so bad twitch, huh? Bad twitch. Son of a twitch. Okay, well, you can hear me now. '24 F1. Anyway, to continue with your discussion, yeah, that's the big complaint that the Trekkies seem to be having, or at least some Trekkies. I mean, it's not. I actually absolutely loved him. He was cool. He was very good, and he worked very well. It's very hard to deal with being on Pike's, being in Pike's shadow. So I can see that being an issue. Mm. Yeah, so I liked him. But naturally, the Trekkies hate him. Not all the Trekkies, I shouldn't say that. There are a group of Trekkies who have already decided that all of the new Star Trek is just bad. And there's no redeeming qualities for it. It's just all bad. And there's nothing you can do about it. And so they keep coming up with excuses as to why, really, we all should just be banning the new Star Treks and going back to old Star Trek, which was much better. And I frankly do not agree. It's I absolutely love the new stuff. And I find it irritating that they all pitch such a fit over it when really yes, it's such a wonderful homage, as only Lower Decks can pull off. Well, that's of course the deal. Star Trek 2 or Star Trek 2 was also spoofed for season 2. I mean, that's what they're after here. It absolutely makes me adore them more every time. We may get all kinds of seasons of Lower Decks. I don't know. Wouldn't break my heart. I would happily have that many seasons of Lower Decks all day long. The new Star Treks are so good. I mean, there isn't one that I don't like. I mean, I have a little bit of a problem every so often with, like some of the concepts or whatever that they come up with on Picard or Discovery, but in general, I like it. And Picard Season 2 introduced a whole slew of new ships, just in time for Eagle Moss to decide to become bankrupt. I'm like, thanks, jerks. I'm going to be mad about that one for a while. That's going to make me mad, especially since I'm on the hunt for... Well, Orville's still running. New episode dropped yesterday. Yeah. Well, okay, so they have filed for conservatorship, which is the same as Chapter 11 here. But that doesn't mean it's dead, necessarily. But, yeah, it does not actually bode well. So I'm kind of thinking I'm going to go on ahead and just buy that Discovery Enterprise while I can. I have this feeling. Yeah, the problem. Well, I've never been very fond. I love Stargate, but man, the starships in Stargate were sucky. My opinion, just my opinion. Was not a big fan. Yeah. That would be a smart move, Brent. And you'll need people like me to pull them out of the box to increase your value. I'm just saying. Can's here. Can's here at low resolution. Oh, no, Can's back. He's not in low resolution now.
Ha!
Ha! You were like in slow frame mode too for a minute there too. You're like tick, 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 tick. And I was like, whoa. Not gonna be a good night for Can. However, you cleaned up just fine, so.
Well, you know.
We're discussing the fact that we are of the ongoing opinion that likely the odds are good that Eagle Moss is going to die. And that's not cool.
What? Wait, what?
Eagle Moss filed for conservatorship, which is like Chapter 11 or Chapter 13 bankruptcy here.
Who's
That's the
that?
people that make that make my metal starships.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about Oni Press.
No, Eagle Moss. That's the people who make the Star Trek starships. So
Okay.
I'm like sitting here trying to decide. I was going to try to buy the Discovery Enterprise. We didn't have the money at the time, so I didn't. And now I'm kind of like, uh-oh, that was a bad idea. So now I'm like, well, maybe it's not a bad idea to get it while I can before people catch on. You know?
Yeah, well, Oni Press is currently they're dying right now.
Oni Press, huh? Oof, that's not good.
Yeah, they have withdrawn from SDCC and are having massive layoffs.
We've had a lot of companies die because of COVID. So now I'm like looking through. There's the Enterprise C. You willing to pay $259 for that Enterprise? No, not really. Not that interested in it. Right? I don't know what happened a lot on to make her a hugger. I think that was awesome though. What I love is that Christina Chung, as an actress, is like smiling and outgoing and floofy and happy, and they've cast her as La'an, and that cracks me up every time. It's truly funny. I don't know who reported number one though. I have to admit that was irritating.
Huh?
We're talking about Star Trek. Brent has finally seen the season finale of Star Trek, and so we're going on about that one. I'm behind, by the way, for the record. I have not seen this week's Orville or For All Mankind, so we have to keep the spoilers out of those.
And then this totally cool thing happened.
Yep.
In episode.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can't even stillily say the episodes. Well. I don't think I need you at all. I need you. There we go. I think that looks pretty cool. I think that's a good question. Who did report number 1? Because whoever it is not going to be there through season 2, which is kind of a bummer because I like everybody on the Enterprise. So it's kind of like,
Well, they could be. Like, it becomes an ongoing thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I will watch them all tomorrow after tomorrow's show. Hopefully I get a good night's sleep tonight. Last couple of nights have been pretty rough because I've been getting up to go to work or go to school. I had my one kid. I always like that. I've got that one kid. There's always that one kid that's good with you messing with him. And so he was my one kid, and he passed. He made the, he passed the driver's test and everything like that. And he was cool. But as we were leaving, I was like, hey man, I really appreciate you letting me you being my pick-on kid, because I knew that you'd be the one that could take it. And it was, it gave a little bit of levity in the classroom, and and he was like, yeah, no problem, man. And we fist bumped and everything like that. And I was like, it's too sad. I don't want you to go. I want you to come back. Yeah, that's plausible. It could have been in the ship's logs or something. I don't know. I mean, it's Star Trek. I would almost say that it could also be somebody came back from the future and or something. Or maybe Nurse Chapel speaks in her sleep and is seeing Dr. Roger Corby, and he's the one that reported it. The problem with having a show that has literally 800 episodes is, even when they're not trying to be a soap opera, it ends up being a soap opera. There are so many episodes of Star Trek, and they're all connected to one another now, and they're all intertwined. It could be anything. Alternate universe, alternate timeline. All right, I've settled up this page, I think. Yeah, anybody could have done it. I mean, heck, it could have been, for all we know, to Pring. Right? I mean, that's a plausible thing. I love their version of the Pring. I'm just saying. The fact that there is this entire deep running thing now between Spock and T'Pring makes mock time much more sort of sad. Mm-hmm. Right. I don't talk about that movie. It doesn't exist. It is not a real movie. All right. That movie is definitely the Bruno in my world of Star Trek. Hey, Patsy. Okay, so Brent and I are discussing the finale of Strange New Worlds, and you were saying you were having problems, or you were having questions. Not maybe not problems, but questions. So what, my dear friend, are your questions? Since we are here discussing them anyway. Yes, it was. It was based on an episode of the original series called Balance of Terror, Season 1, Episode 14. And if you go watch that episode back to back with it, you'll find that they literally said the same lines. What? You say that like you guys are not surprised, or like you guys are surprised that I'm a Trekkie. So
no, we're not surprised.
Yeah, I was gonna say Trekkies have been doing this literally since I was a kid. I don't. We used to do this at like conventions. We'd quiz each other about episodes and what season they were in and stuff. I know I'm getting rustier though as I get older. No, in the original episode Balance of Terror, the Romulan commander self-destructed the ship. Balance of Terror, dude. It's a good episode. So yeah, it was. Yeah, no, it's a good episode. It's a good episode, and actually surprisingly holds up. A lot of TOS episodes can sometimes get a little funky, and there are a few things like Janice Rand and stuff like that. And what? You guys say that? Not weird. I'm not a freak. I'm a Trekkie. Yeah. I have a little box of mints here, and I'm loving these mints. They are Bob Ross's. Oh, you can't see it. They're Bob Ross's Happy Little Tree Mints. Yep, and there's nothing wrong with any of the levels of them. Some people are yeah, I know. We've been talking about that, the kiddo and I. Bad Batch and Clone Wars. I feel like my kid feels like he needs to like be as bizarre about Star Wars as I am about Star Trek. And I keep telling him that's not necessary. He doesn't have to be over the top. It was a thing that brought me comfort when I was a kid, and being, picked on at school and things like that. And so he doesn't, he count his blessings. He's not actually in the same position where it brings him comfort to study Star Trek and get to the ridiculous numbers of bizarre things. I liked Obi-Wan. Man, Obi-Wan was good though, wasn't it? No. I'm in for Mandalorian season 3. I think it was interesting with something Patsy had been saying in another forum about religion and religious people. I keep thinking about it. All of us sort of have a thing that we are super concentrated on. For some people, it's religion. I mean, nobody would think twice if someone quoted, Deuteronomy and, said, well, in Deuteronomy chapter 4, 6, verse 16, so-and-so says blah, 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 blah. Nobody would give it a second thought. And I think that's because some people, that's what they concentrate on. That's the thing that they're into. And so I don't feel so bad about being like super Trekkie whenever it comes to stuff like that, because I realize that there are people who can quote chapter and verse of the Bible. And I think the only problem is that people do not see Star Trek as effectively the same kind of thing. I think people find that offensive, and I find that funny. That's when I start getting humored by it. Man, when we talk about Star Wars, though, can we all just talk about the little Leia and how she just absolutely stole everything in Obi-Wan? Can we just talk about that real quick? Like, stole the show, just walked away with everything. I mean, that was just such a wonderful. She was so good. And she even looked like a little Carrie Fisher. Right? I didn't. And since I didn't have to memorize a lot of the Bible, I have room. I have a room upstairs to store Star Trek episodes. So, which I'm sure galls some people, but that's their problem, not mine. That's a weird pose. Let's never do that pose ever again. I feel like Chang is having a problem with personal space right now. I mean, we'll fix it in a second, but for right now, boy, Chang, bad touch. Bad touch, Captain. Bad touch. Good night, Brent. See you tomorrow on the stream. I don't mean to.
Happy.
You what?
Huh?
I feel like I have completely dominated you here.
Oh, you've been talking about Star Trek, so I've been
It's not
quietly working.
Yeah, I can imagine. That's probably true. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to, dominate the stream. I still love you. That helps any.
There's just a lot of detail in this page.
Yeah, it is a beautiful page, though. I mean, there's something about that.
Yeah. And then I sent you the first page for this.
Yeah, I love that. Uh-oh.
Bong.
It's a 27 frame 1 already exists. 27 frame 1 shouldn't already exist. The story. As I say, 2701 exists.
This is a first. I drew on the wrong frame.
Uh-huh.
But actually, that was a good thing. Because it's allowing me to go back through and draw the vines on a different frame. So I can edit easily between the monster and the vines.
Huh. Kind of cool. So you're saying serendipity?
Yeah.
Did a page move? What happened here? You know what? It's not important. Hmm. Another the deep bass thrum of "You Have Screwed Up." Why, thank you, Patsy. I do love the fact that Anne and I have completely radically different ways of doing things. That's so cool.
It makes the stream more interesting to watch.
I agree.
I'm equal between the two.
You're equal between the two?
Yeah. So my family is big into Star Trek and a little bit into Star Wars. And I was big into kind of both. So I swung back and forth between Star Trek and Star Wars. So I really like both of them. They're both kind of equal in my head. That's why fandom wars are kind of foreign to me.
It's actually funny. There's a lot of discussion about fandom wars. And it's always interesting to me because really, honestly, I don't generally see a lot of the fandom wars themselves. That's sort of a popularized fiction sort of thing, you know? Like, I think that people like to think we get into fandom wars more than we really do. Makes for good TV or whatever.
You apparently were not in the same forums I was.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Nah, it was a lot more common than you think. And you had to choose sides. Like, that was
Right.
the weird thing. Like, you couldn't be both. You had to be Star Trek or Star Wars. And it's like, can I be both? I like both.
Right. I got better things to do with my life. Like watch Star Trek and Star Wars. I mean, for one.
Yeah. It's like you were given 2 bowls at Christmas filled with cookies, and you're being told you have to decide which one is better.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, but it's 2 bowls of cookies. You can't lose.
Right.
You have cookies.
How can this be bad? They're cookies. I don't know, man. That sounds brutal to me. Of course, I was most of the Trek fandom sites that I'm on. Either I'm on such hardcore fandom sites now that they just were past that, or I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the story is, but I mean, you know, I'm on the sites that do talk episode titles and numbers and things like that. Things that nobody seems to know except for the hardcore Trekkies. And we're all perfectly content. Being freaky and weird. It's called Balance of Terror, Season 1, Episode 14. You're welcome. Anything for, Star Trek. More watching of Star Trek. There's nothing wrong with that in my world. You got it. Mom had used to talk when my mom was, when my mom was still around. She used to talk about the fact that it wasn't so weird that I knew all of this, and she's the first one that kind of pointed that out. She's like, I can tell you how many yards Elway has run off the top of my head, and I can tell you what the which is the best line tackle and which is the best fielding doodly wop needle up doo doo doo, and she went ahead and into her little tech mode too. So she's like, it's not that weird that you can list all of these facts and figures. But there are times whenever I do, like, just without thinking, spew out, season and episode on a Star Trek thing, and I feel a little self-conscious for a minute there. I'm like, that was a little weird. You know what I mean? Normal humans probably don't do that. My mom was not, in fact, a normal human when she spewed out all those facts and figures about people and their running scores and whatever it is that football people do. No, it's fine. You know what, really, though, Patsy, the thing that's really bizarre is this 111 Mark 14. Just write that down. 111.14. Just write that down and then watch the episode.
I feel like you just gave a Bible verse.
Right? That's where I start going, I'm wondering whether I am freakish or something. Actually, what I really feel like on that one is that's where I'm wondering, how close to autistic am I? right? Because
I
like
don't know about autistic, but artistic.
11
Yeah.
Mark 14. Yep. Artistic. I'm definitely artistic. Does that count? Does that count? Can that count? Can we just say that counts? 111 Mark 14. It does feel like I'm saying Bible verses. It's the heading to the neutral zone. I'm just saying, watch the episode. You'll see. It all makes sense. But it does make me think, like, we start talking about stuff like this, and I do start to think about things like, for example, since it is obviously sort of a hallmark of autistic people to remember all of these ridiculously weird numbers and things like that, is it possible that back in the day, autistic people were attracted to the church because it was something they could dig their teeth into, and a ton of data and information and stuff to memorize, and it would attract them? You know what I mean? Kind of wonder about that. And now in the modern day, we get all of the things that seem to attract the same kind of people, those people who love numbers and facts and are attracted to that kind of universe. And it doesn't have to be biblical. I'm just curious. I mean, it's like, I like looking at larger patterns. And I keep thinking about the way that Trekkies deal with Star Trek is very similar to the way that church people will deal with chapter and verse and stuff like that. Very similar to the way that my mom was with the Broncos. You know, very similar in a lot of ways to all of that stuff. Which makes me wonder if there's something connected.
But why wonder? So yeah, this new way of going about things with
Is much faster.
Yeah.
Super fast. Yeah. Because that's what you needed, was more speed.
And more detailed.
Right? I actually think that that's I think the best part about this is that you are getting much more detailed. But I am a nut for detail. I love detail. So the more detailed you get, the more I'm going to be attracted to it. And that's just the nature of things. And I know that. But still, I think it's cool.
Yeah.
Dad and I were talking at the last few years that about mental degradation and the mind starting to go, and thinking there will come a day where somebody will be like, "Hey, what episode of Star Trek was that one where this happened?" And I'd be like, "Oh, is that season?" You know what I mean? Like, and then just lose track of it, and that'll be kind of terrifying.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's in my future somewhere. And it's kind of, I don't know. Our brains are not infallible. But I've had a certain amount of comfort all of my life to knowing this.
Well, and you've seen me having to deal with that too.
Right. Well, but yours is COVID induced. That's a different.
But still induced.
Yeah, it's still, well, and one of the reasons why COVID completely flips me out. Oof. Go see Star Trek. I'll talk to you later. Good night.
Good night.
Certainly cannot blame you for that one. Ooh, I need to stand up for a minute or two. On the other hand, boy, once I hit the age that I need to be in a nursing home, it's easy. Just make sure I've got 24/7 Star Trek. I'll get all the rest of my days out with it. And it's one of those things that I'm pretty sure I'll be still a Trekkie because I've got now more years than I think I have left in me being a Trekkie.
Oh, yeah. You'll become known as the Trekkie.
Mm-hmm. I've got the Trekkie.
And that over there is Guy. He's the one with no pants and talk about Star Trek.
Yeah. We just let him beam down every so often.
I
have to admit, that is kind of one of those things that does kind of worry me. Will I be that guy that has no pants? You know what I mean?
It happens more than you think.
I know it does. I am very aware. So the 111 Mark 14 thing, even though it sounds like a Bible verse, that is one thing that I actually noticed that was really nice. When people complain that the new guys don't know anything about Star Trek, I'm just like, no, guys. You know, when people like me are catching the little teeny nuanced things and they are perfect and spot on, these guys know what they're doing.
Yeah. But it's a fandom, so they have to complain. Or they feel they have to complain.
They feel they have to complain, yeah. Have to remember that the girls are wearing their suits in life support mode. So I've got to make sure that their hair is sealed up. I don't think it worked. Maybe.
Okay. Let's see how this looks. Oh, that's a good looking page.
Oh, look at that. That is insane. Oh, I love it. That is good. That's good work.
Yeah, I noticed something about this page that was kind of funny that wasn't intentional, but really kind of wraps things to something that happens previous. Is in issue 2, you find out that Rosa's a stripper. That's one of her jobs.
Right.
Well, in this one, and I didn't mean to refer back to that issue, Momo goes, shit, if it'll stop it, offer it a lap dance for all I care.
Right.
And I was just trying to be funny, and it's like, boy, that actually became a more serious reference than what I intended.
Right. That was better than you meant.
Yeah. Okay. But I am loving how graphic this fourth issue is turning into.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can see the improvements I'm having issue by issue by issue.
And you and I just continue to sit here and just continue to do our work.
Yep.
Keep plugging. Just keep plugging. Aw.
What's up?
Oh, I got a leak somewhere. Right there. That's all. Just a leak. Not a big deal, but it was enough to go, oh, I'm going to have to back up. The other one is, aw. There's the leaf. Oh, you know what it is? We can't do this unless we put a solid line on the other side here.
Okay, I found something for your office, guy.
Uh-oh. Worries me when people find stuff for my office.
Okay, check private chat.
Okay. Oh. We're talking about the Flex Arm Hulk falconry gear.
Well, or the Iron Man.
Yeah, the Iron Man's pretty kick butt, though. I mean, to be fair, that Iron Man was pretty cool. I think I'd go for the Iron Man. You're right, more than I would the Hulk. I agree.
I shall be right back.
I'll be right here. I think you're muted. I see you moving your mouth. I see nothing happening.
It's been hot today.
Yes.
And I'm feeling.
Me too. I don't blame you. I was in a classroom.
Yeah.
Which, the classroom is in an air-conditioned building, but you put a whole bunch of kids in there, and it doesn't stay, you know? It doesn't stay.
No. It probably gets hot really fast.
It does.
God, I love how this turned out.
I like that picture. I just like the picture.
That one turned out nice.
Yeah, I just like it. It looks like, I mean, it's kind of like the quintessential captain and first officer sort of in space picture. You know what I mean? Like, it just looks neat. It looks lovely. It looks lovely.
I agree.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Okay, listen to this statement released by Oni.
Uh-oh.
With wildly sensationalistic rumors circulating and false information spreader, we'd like to reiterate the recent personnel changes at Oni Lion Forge Publishing Group, with the sole purpose of evolving the company and brand and positioning it for long-term success. First of all, that's never a good leading statement to have.
No? Since you guys are all yammering about us.
We're proud of our long history in business and continually strive to be better and do better. We started Lion Forge Comics 11 years ago, specifically to make great creator-driven content. And Oni's history is 25 years in the business. Within a new framework that is being worked on now, we remain committed to publishing groundbreaking content, embracing pioneering creators, and advancing authentic diversity and inclusion. We see an incredibly exciting future not for the company but for our fans and content consumers worldwide. Yeah, we like them content books. It's all about the content. Are you a content creator?
I am, in fact, a content creator. However, I do feel like that's a little weird, too.
Like,
I'm not disagreeing with you on that one.
like there are ways you could say that doesn't sound like you just got a bunch of corporate heads that don't know what a comic company is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It does very much sound like that, doesn't it? That sounds like that definitely sounds like they are. Sounds like they fired a whole bunch of people because they were not following the company line, and before that gets out of hand, they want to preemptively strike. That's what it sounds like to me.
But they also have a person writing that doesn't know what a comic is. You know, because you don't refer to a a comic book and manga as content and content creators.
Well, I mean, we don't because it's cold.
But you'd think that Oni wouldn't either.
Right, because it's cold.
They're, and also, too, like Oni specializes in manga, which is Japanese comics.
Right, what I'm saying is it's cold. We wouldn't refer to it that way because it's cold and heartless. And so, no, we wouldn't do that. Of course we wouldn't do that because it's cold and heartless. However, I could see those who are... yeah, go ahead.
Well, it also wouldn't strike with their readership either.
No, it's tone deaf.
Yeah, it just seems not only tone deaf, but it also seems like that it's the people writing that aren't in the loop to what they make. Like they don't understand their own product.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yep, there's the rub that they're trying to get out in front of. They fired all their senior POC editors. So all their people of color, senior editors and staff, and then saying they're positioning themselves for long-term success.
Oh, so they fired everybody who was of color and been in there? That doesn't sound good.
No. And now they're talking about wildly sensationalized news. Wow, this whole thing with Oni. Wow.
That's brutal.
Jim Zub sent out this tweet. He is a writer for Avengers, Conan, like pretty much everything. He goes, gutted to see so many friends and colleagues let go from Oni Press. Wondering if the rumored skeleton crew being kept on will include people working on the project we were set to announce next week.
Trying to set this up to go to Instagram. I'm setting up a picture to Instagram. That's what I'm doing.
Talented creatives getting laid off once the company realizes they need to pay royalties, and that running a publishing company is expensive. The only place I've lived rent-free is in the minds of Oni Press. Ever since I reported them to the EEOC, didn't sign their NDA, and started representing their creators and taking their books, I feel the ire behind the beginning of that public statement, and I tan beneath it.
I see.
So apparently they were doing stuff on the back end. Only going through a round of layoffs, and what we're being told is management restructuring, and could possibly be ahead of the sale of the company. Wow. Like, this is kind of weird times, because, you know, here it is. Comics are going through a strange golden age where the publishing companies are dying, but the indies are starting to take over.
Right. That's what I feel like is happening a lot. It's like I feel like we're shifting.
Yeah.
I'm discovering that I'm setting up all kinds of crap here. It's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah.
Huh. Yes, it's easy. Hey, red-headed one.
Alex tried to ply us with alcohol and got the drunkest.
I see.
He was so funny. I'd like to go. Yeah, I'm like
So-
some spots.
So she went with a redhead. I'm gonna go with blue hair over the
It's
weekend.
gonna be awesome.
I'm gonna go blue. It's gonna be good. I'm gonna do all kinds
It's gonna
of
be so
stuff.
cool.
Sacre bleu.
I'm gonna go to bed now. 'Cause
So you are going to work tomorrow.
yeah, I told
That's
him I would.
That's cool. We'll be here. Go back, go see. Should I turn on reviews? Oh, I can add my religious views.
Just barely.
I can add my political views. Oh, add a language.
What is this?
I'm looking at I went in, I knew, holy crap. I went into the my GS Davis art business page, and it's got a whole bunch of categories you can add. Oh, okay, that's cool. Not a real problem. So I was kind of like going in here and like looking at all of this, and I'm like, huh, there's like all these things you can add now. Like you can add all of your other social media things. Cool, I will do that. But then it's like you can turn on reviews, you can add your hours, you can add your Wi-Fi network name. That seems like that's dangerous. But then it has languages. So I put English and Japanese because those are two languages I speak. You know? And then it says add your religious views and add your political views. And I'm like, that seems like that's just super dangerous. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I'm gonna walk away from that one.
Right? I'm like, that seems like that's a dangerous precedent. I don't know if I want to mess with that one. That one seems like that'll just lock me out of people who will buy my stuff. So, because I'm really, it's okay if you I don't need to.
You do not need to align with you politically
Right, for me,
economic exchange.
I will happily and blissfully draw Jesus for you if you want me to. I don't care. It's not gonna make me mad. I'll even draw Donald Trump if that's a thing. You know what I mean? I don't care. You're paying me? I don't care.
I get the money for this?
Right? I'm like, I don't care. It's fine. No. The other one. The other one.
Jack Grazer, he's talking about, this is Alex Skarsgård. He's talking about playing Pennywise. He goes, Jack Grazer plays Eddie in the movie, and there's a scene where I approach him and scream in his face. He's crying and gagging and doing this whole thing, and I'm like, in the back of my head going, oh my god, I'm traumatizing this child, what am I doing? And then they yell cut, and I go, are you okay, Jack? And he goes, love what you're doing. Love what you're doing with the character. Love it. Just nonchalantly.
It's just like it's a whole bunch of information I didn't know I could put in here. It's kind of cool. The big thing is that I can set an entire section of what I would like for people to see as far as pictures go, which is nice. So that's a big thing.
Yeah. So, have you seen the video of the guy who's pushing in it's a slide with tubers. He's pushing the tuber into down the slide. He like kicks him.
No.
Oh, let's see if I can bring that up.
I don't know if I want to see it. It sounds like it's tubers.
Oh, no. This is its own brand of special. See if I can find it.
Although at the moment I'm working over on Facebook, so give me just a second. I'm on. The hell? A/B tests? Holy crap. That was remarkably weird. Okay. I have done some interesting things.
So the video's been edited, but it makes here. It's in our private chat.
You're gonna make me watch Bugs, aren't you? I feel like you're gonna make me watch Bugs. Oh, Tubers. Okay, Tubers is good. Feeling.
Boo! What's eating?
Okay, did we get any further information on this?
Well, the edited part is the guy flying at the end, but apparently this lifeguard is kicking him down the slide like that. And that was lifeguard himself's Instagram account, and everybody's like, okay, that's super dangerous.
Right, so they added the kid flying, you mean?
Yeah. So now animators are taking that and showing different characters flying off into the distance.
That's gotcha. Okay, so he didn't really fling the guy off.
No.
That makes me feel a whole lot better.
Yeah, that's the edited part. Is the guy flying into the distance. Particularly since he actually, if you look at it, if that really happened, he just watched that guy do it as he's turning around.
Right. Aw, 5 minutes remain.
Oh, apparently the edit was created by a freelance VFX artist. So he saw the video and added the guy going flying. I think both you and I are kind of done for the evening.
Yeah, I'm setting up the next scene for tomorrow, so I have some work to do, but
Yeah, I hit a moment in which I just started overheating, and so I stopped and just started drinking some cold liquid. I'm feeling better now, but the stream's over, so
yeah, stream's over, but also, don't overheat. Because, like, I
yeah.
am now very susceptible to overheating and very uninterested in you overheating. So there.
Yeah.
So that's right. We'll be done here in just a second with this. So. I realized I really haven't done any nice big wide shots of the bridge. It's kind of hard to get an idea of where everything is relative to things. I also set my my picture to post tomorrow morning at 7 because that's what it recommended. So I'm going to see what that does.
So when are you posting?
7 a.m. tomorrow.
Oof.
I'm curious. Well, no, I mean, it automatically is doing it. I'm not doing nothing. I intend to sleep.
Yeah, but I'm wondering if I should do the same.
That's what it recommended. It was like, it said, recommend posting at 7 tomorrow. That's when your followers are most active based on their most recent data. And I was like, oh, okay. Oh, there you go. So are you using MetaSuite?
No, I am not.
I am because I just didn't do anything about it to not. And so now I'm kind of like, well, okay, we're here, so let's figure it out,
Yeah.
So Save the page here. No, what do I want to do? I want to hit that button. There's a lot of buttons right here. How do people in Star Trek do it? I did notice that my new PC auto restarted a couple of nights ago. That was a little aggravating. Luckily, I save everything before I go to bed. But I do have many programs up and running. But I know that there is a thing that Windows 11 can do, and I'm not sure how to make it work yet, but I will, where it does this like entire desktop save. So it saves everything that's running on your desktop and just saves it as a freezed state. And you can just have many of them. So you can have a desktop that's, complete with the backdrop. The desktop picture is completely different and stuff like that. And you can just have all of these states where it just brings up all of the programs that are running, everything that's there, and it just saves that state. So all you have to do is swap. So I can have like a video editing state, and I can have a drawing comic book state, and so I have to figure out how that works. So, yeah.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it works. We'll figure it out. But in the meantime, I'm tired. I'm going to bed.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing.
I'll see you tomorrow on stream.
See you
Good night.
tomorrow.
Bye bye.
Bye.